Hello, my name is Casey Faulkner, and for my service project, I will be looking into personality assessment. What is personality assessment? Personality is someone's consistent patterns of emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Personality assessments are tools that can be used to measure personality. These assessments are fantastic resources for psychological purposes. They can aid in several different things, such as professionals getting a more in depth understanding of their clients, human resource managers in making the best hires, people finding the most suitable jobs, and the military in placing of their troops. There are many different kinds of personality assessments, and two of the most well known ones would be the Myers Briggs personality test and the five factor model, which is right here. And others include 16 personality factors, the DISC model, the Hexaco model, and the four humors. What is the five factor model? The five factor model is a trait theory, and a trait theory determines the operation of personality and uses traits to define its nature. The five factors are extroversion, neuroticism, openness, conscientiousness, and agreeableness. The test is typically composed of 240 questions that are designed to measure six subtraits. The test is comprised of a self-report portion and an observer rating form. The history of the five-factor model. The first mention of it was in 1933. Lewis Thurston brought it up in his presidential address in the meeting of the American Psychological Association, but then it did not resurface until 6 decades later. So what happened? Thurston never made an attempt to launch the model and allowed it to get looked over for almost over half a century. It was reborn again in the 1980s, adding agreeableness and conscientiousness to the pre-existing three-factor model. The first inventory on the model was finally launched. The pros and cons of the five-factor model. Pros include that it has been consistently reliable in over 1,000 published studies, and it can be used in a multiple of ways, including community and clinical populations and industrials or organizational psychology. Cons would be that it does not include any type of theoretical reasoning for personality development, and it is merely a description of personality traits. What is the Myers-Briggs Personalities Test? This assessment originated from Jung's theory of personality types and was later adapted by Myers and Briggs. It focuses on the idea of personality types rather than just traits, and it works with quantitative and qualitative differences rather than just quantitative differences like the five-factor model. So it deals with how much and what traits someone experiences rather than just what traits someone would experience. And based on the idea of measuring personality through four dimensions. The four dimensions include extroversion and introversion, sensation and intuition, thinking and feeling, and judgment and perception. One's results are given in four letters, and there are a total of 16 different possibilities as shown in the picture here. And the assessment is made up of 126 true-false statements that reflect one of the four pairs of letters, and each of these pairs right here correspond with the words in front of them respectively. The test was developed by Katharine Briggs and her daughter Isabel Briggs Myers based on Jung's theories. They began creating the test in the 1940s, and it was designed to help people find jobs that correspond with their personality type. The Consulting Psychologist Press gained the right to sell this test in 1957, and since its publication, it has received all sorts of professional support. The pros would be that the test is based on four components or scales rather than just one, enabling it to cover more ground, and it represents a variety of personality types and is widely used in a number of ways. Cons include people can often get different types when they take the test multiple times. Scoring can be kind of confusing and difficult to understand, and it also does not account for radical changes in a person's behavior. So the service component of my project would be, in order to help other students at my school get a better understanding of themselves, I created a survey with several components. The first part was a series of either-or questions that I had them answer to unknowingly predict their results. 2, take the Myers-Briggs test on 16personalities.com and record their results. And 3, rate the test accuracy and give feedback on the results if they felt they wanted to. And this picture here is from 16personalities.com, which is the website I used to administer the test. All right, looking at the survey, here on the left is a screenshot of the survey I administered to students at my school. And each of the questions corresponds with one of the pairs of letters. Introvert and extrovert come directly from the test, and others correspond with letters. Detail-oriented corresponds with S, big picture corresponds with N, follows head corresponds with T, follows heart corresponds with F, makes plans and schedules goes with J, keeps options open goes with P. And the website adds an additional pair, which is assertive and turbulent, and they go with the last question shown below. However, these results didn't necessarily impact the test, so I decided to leave them out for the rest of the project. A total of 26 people were given the survey, and they were anywhere from sophomores in high school to freshmen in college, and there was a pretty even mix of boys and girls that took it, and here are the results. Feel free to pause the video if you would like to take a further look at the numbers. Comparing the results from part 1 and 2, as you can see from the two charts, the first one deals with the predictions and the second one deals with the results. And it has all of the letters shown below and their popularity shown on the y-axis. The ratios, none of them match up entirely, and there's even this one which had a huge difference. And then these charts compare the 4 letter types instead of just the singular letters. And again, looking at the ratios, there are 2 that are the same, but in the ISTP, the 2 people that got the same score are not the same person. So then here, the columns show the results from the test. The letters represent the people just in order of who took it when. The middle column has to deal with the scores the person actually got on the test, and the right-hand column is what the people predicted they would get. And if you took a further look at it, you would realize that one person actually got their predictions to match their results. 9 people had 1 letter difference, so it wasn't too off. And then 15 people had a 2-letter difference, 0 people had a 3-letter difference, and then 1 person had all the letters just not matching up at all. Nearly every person surveyed had at least 1 letter that didn't match up with the results from the test. However, everyone gave it an above average rating. As you can see on the chart over here, everyone gave it a 6 or above on accuracy. And this poses 2 possible questions. How well do people actually know themselves and their own personality? And how well does the Myers-Briggs test actually reflect the personality type of a person? Okay, reviewing the feedback. There were only 7 out of 26 people that said there was a specific part of their results that they did not necessarily agree with. The rest of the people surveyed said they either agreed, mostly agreed, or completely agreed. And although it was not a part of the feedback, many people came up and talked to me about the test over the next few days. A large number of them told me they had taken a similar test or even the same test in the past. Several of them said they'd received the same results, while others of them said they'd received different results every single time they've taken it. Possible explanations for the variations in the predictions and results. Everyone surveyed was a teenager, and teens are developing not only their sense of self, but their brains. Maybe characteristics they are working towards are not necessarily part of their dominant personality type. Second, people weren't truthful, taking the survey purposely or accidentally, skewing their results by how they see themselves or want to be seen. Or they simply misunderstood or misread the questions. Another possibility is that they rushed through the test. And third of all, the test was made by humans and was taken by them too, and it may not be entirely accurate. And other factors, such as the mood of the person taking it, may have contributed to the contradictory results. Thanks for watching my video, and here's the reference list.